up, everybody? This is Chris from T3 Handicapping, and today is Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. Got a race of the day play here from Gulfstream Park. It's the third race. It's a route race over the all-weather surface, claiming non-winners of 3 lifetime condition. Gets a 77 rating from us here at T3. Just going to do a quick rundown. I have the grid with all the bets on another sheet. I'm going to try that just to make it a little easier to see kind of what I'm going through here. So this race jumped out to me because speed, stamina, and form have been most successful going long on the all-weather. And I've got a couple of horses here that play a really big factor there. I've got One Bite, the number 5, with Alvarado and Mott. Speed, stamina, also tops in class, which is a secondary factor, and then form, top 3. And then I've got Nate the Great, top speed, second speed, top stamina, second class, and then also second form. So a lot of really positives for these two. Really hard to make a case for one to be super favored over the other than the fact that I like the run style here of the 8 just a little bit more. So that's where I'm going to lean, not to mention the fact that literally factors out in every category. Also, that nice plus 10, although you can see that this score is also over 10, so together we see both of those as being strong, but we can also see that we're not seeing anything different in the win end than the odds, and that always makes things a little bit interesting. So I tried to see if there was anybody that I could remove. I thought about potentially removing this horse here because of the fact that we have the sub 10 jockey and trainer. But at the end of the day, I saw enough things here that I thought I probably want to keep this one on side, especially with the fact that this one does have a 2-point speed point advantage on the next closest competition. I find these horses tend to overperform, and so I decided to leave that one in. The other ones that I looked at potentially removing, I looked at the number 6 here, but I didn't like that the primary factor had the top rating. So that to me was a bit of a concern, and so I didn't want to take that one out. I ended up choosing to eliminate only the number 1, which was this one here, and that's just because the horse literally didn't rank out in any factor. Decent jockey trainer, but nothing that I'm going to really lean into too heavily. So I decided to eliminate the number 1. I could maybe be convinced on this number 7 as well, and I think when I go in to actually do my betting, I might look at maybe eliminating that one as well, but for now I'm going to leave it in just as I did before. So let's take a look at how we ended up with our bet board here. So I started with 8, 5, 3, 2, 4, 7, 6, 1. That is the exact rank order that we had before. I went through the eliminations, and like I said, I only eliminated the 1. I maybe thought about the 7. The 6 was one that, if we go back, had just the 1 category again, but it was in that prime factor. So when I went to move the stack rank around, I did end up flipping the 4 forward. I moved it ahead of the 2, and then I moved the 6 ahead of the 7. So I made 2 little switches here, and that did actually have an impact on the wager. The 4 jumped ahead of the 2, simply because now I know you're dealing with Irad Ortiz, especially when Safi's in the race. That makes me a little nervous. But the horse is coming from out of it, and really the 2 factors that this horse made sense in, one is kind of a 0 factor or a moderate factor, and then one is basically a non-existent factor at all. The jockey trainer doesn't seem to have that big of an impact on this. So I chose to move that one down below the 4 and move the 4 up, despite the low connections for the 4. So then in my grid, when I redid my quick check here, I've got that. And then I really think this race comes down to 2 horses when I'm playing the win wagers. It's going to be the 8 or the 5. I do favor the 8 a little bit more than the 5, so I put that one on top. And then I've got 8-5-3 in second, 8-5-3-4 in third, and then I've got a whole host of horses here in fourth. Now, it is important to realize that I do usually try and get these races down to 6, but because in this race I feel like I can still keep my costs down based on stacking everything in the 4th position and not having too many in the 2nd and 3rd, I can still make this a profitable situation even while having a 7th horse in the race. So for my win wagers, I'm looking at the 8 horse. I am going to demand 5-2. I think that's probably extremely unlikely. I'm planning to not play the win in this particular race. I just don't think 5-2 is reasonable when the horse is, somewhere closer to, I think, 8-5 on the morning line, maybe even 7-5. Exacta, I'm going to go with 8-5. You'll notice that I did move the 4 up into the exacta play here, even though it's anchored in third. I did that because I think that's probably where I'm going to get value. Right now, you can see I have, if I play this combination, I have a total of 6 horses in this combination, or 6 combinations in this wager. However, I anticipate that 8-5-5-8 isn't going to be in play at all anyway. So that's going to really help to take things out, and so I'm going to be left really with an 8-5 over 3 and 4. So I should be able to eliminate some of those combinations pretty quickly here, and reduce the cost of that. I am going to demand $18 for that. I think that because I have more horses in there, and because I don't have a clear number one choice, and I'm not just straight up boxing them, because it's going to take me a little bit more coverage, I'm going to ask for $18, even if I do just end up playing 5-8 with 3-4. The try's not too terribly expensive, just $8 on a dollar. And I think if I can get that 3 and that 4 into second or third, that I can potentially really kind of open things up. What I'm hoping to not have happen here is 5-8, 5-8, right? That to me would be the worst possible case scenario, unless I can get the 4 or the 3 into third. Then obviously I might make a little bit of money, but really where the key to this is getting that 3 into second place. If I really wanted to get cute, I could go with a 5-8 with 3-4 with 3-4 5-8, and just basically say I'm going to really try and thread the needle and know that that's my best chance at getting a payout. I don't want to do that in this case. That doesn't really reflect my opinion, but I'm trying to think about value as I'm making these wagers. And then the superfecta, a similar type of situation here. So we're going to go 5-8 with 3-5-8 with 3-4 5-8 with 2-3-4 5-6 7 and 8. So we're just going to follow the straight stack rank there. That's only 320 on 10 cents. If I hit that even going favorite, hopefully I can still make that 320 back. That shouldn't be a problem there at that point. I'm really hoping that 2 isn't able to get into fourth, but even if the 2 can get into fourth, I still should be able to make up that cost. So that's a look here at this race. Again, this is the third race from Gulfstream, going a route of ground over the all-weather surface. Hopefully you can make your wagers today profitable. If you're looking for more horse racing action, check out horses.bettingnews.com. On Saturday, we'll have coverage of 5 different stakes cards, one from Aqueduct, Gulfstream, Oaklawn, Tampa, and Santa Anita. So lots of things on the docket for this weekend. Make sure you're checking out bettingnews.com for all of your horse racing and sports betting coverage. And then, of course, whether it's today or this weekend, cash those tickets.